Okay, guys, we are live on both our YouTube channel and also on Live Me. Good evening, everyone. A blessed evening to each and every one of you from Nigerian region. I don't know irrespective of your region tonight, and you welcome you officially to the podcast show for tonight, of which on. And today we're having a very important conversation, which on Thursday we always talk about social media at large and also finances and also how to improve ourselves. And while on Sunday we dig in personal issues, personal conversation like relationship, career wise, how to build yourself, your family, how to balance and prioritize some certain things, and how to unprioritize things that are unnecessary. So today we are here again, live again, doing what we do best, doing what we love best. And today we're talking about I'm just going to dig out from the 48 laws of money. And now we're going to be talking about, today we're going to be talking about learning to live below our means. So tonight we're going to be talking about learning to live below our means. And which this theme and which this the reference of this particular topic is coming from Victor Okar. For those that are lovers of books, you could go look for a book titled 48 the 48 Laws of Money under Victor Okar. So today we're going to be talking about learn to live below your means. So what do you mean when such a thing comes into your mind? So living below your means is fundamental principles for achieving financial independence. It is not just about frugality. It is not about frugality. It is a mindset that enables you to prioritize savings and investment over unnecessary spending. It is important to make conscious financial choices that align with your long term goal. By adopting this lifestyle, you can build a solid financial foundation and create opportunities for wealth accumulation. So, for those that are going to be joining us from Live Me, please do well to share the live, and those joining us from YouTube channel, do well to hit on the like button and also share the live. Also, if you want to catch us on Live Me channel, you could see us on Live Me. Thanks, Robert. Okay, thank you so much for that. Hi, hello, how are you doing? You're welcome to today's live show. And my ID number on Live Me is 10237595. So those on Live Me, my YouTube channel is the underscore blunt reality. And today we're gonna be talking about learn learn how to live below our means. And when we talk about learning how to live below our means, what does that actually means to us? Learning how to live below our means actually means by spending lesser than your earnings. Okay, this involves making intentional choices about our lifestyles, recognizing that true wealth comes from saving and investing rather than consuming. You know, most people feel like, my salary is not actually enough for me. I spend more than my salary, my earning. I always spend more than my earning. How have you been checking through your budget? How have you been scanning through your expenses? Are you the type that spend more on unnecessary things? Or are you the type that spend more on miscellaneous? Or are you the type that spend more on unforeseen budgets? So, these are the different ways we can spend more on. Understand? Most of us spend more on unforeseen budgets. Most of us spend more on our miscellaneous, and most of us spend more on unnecessary things. So these three categories of things is the major places where we spend more. So how do you control it? When you talk about living and spending, living below your ends means, like an example, you're a salary earner of 300,000 monthly, and your expenses and everything, your budget for the month, expenses for the month, carrying out your bills and everything, saving for your rent. And especially when I still talk about saving for your rent, because those from aside from Nigerian or some African countries, they pay their rent monthly, while few states pay their rent and few countries pay their rent on a yearly basis, and Nigerian is part of those countries that pay their rent on a yearly basis. So now we're going to be using somebody a salary earner who is earning and saving for a yearly renting um rent and everything. So you are a salary earner and you're earning 350,000 naira in a month, and then hello, please do well to click on the like button and please help us share the live so let more people come in, and don't forget to click on the subscribe button for those on the YouTube channel. I really appreciate your presence for coming. So as a salary earner of 350,000 naira monthly, and then you were living in an apartment, you're living in an apartment that worth 1 point something million in a year. I'm so fine, thank you so much. And you're living in an apartment of 1 point something million in a year, going to achieve and actualize that in at the end of the month, at the end of the year, your salary and your savings is matching through together. There are not going to be a lapses in it, and at the end of the year, you have nothing to show off on. Then you have to cut your expenses. You have to form this habit of before the end of the month. Most people will feel like, oh, you're too economic, you over managing things or anything. No, find this habit of at the end of before the end of the month, list out your budget and plan yourself that you're not going to exceed this budget, you're not going to do more than this. Let's say for instance you're a salary earner of 350,000 now, 50,000 naira per monthly, or you saving from that your salary is you're ending up with 300,000. So that 50,000 naira is an unforeseen, like an unforeseen, like let's say with that 50,000 naira is your monthly savings for your rent, for your rent. Let's say 50,000 naira for your monthly savings for your rent. And then when you talk about after saving that 50,000 naira for a month, then you're left with 300,000. How do you manage 300,000? If you are a worker, or if you are a single lady and a single a bachelor, a spinster, you know your expenses is not going to be as higher than those that are married who are running through a salary earner of 350,000 now. So how do you manage with this? I'm going to be differentiating some certain things to see how people spend more on some certain things, and to see how people can earn more and save more, because what will keep you going is your investment. It's your savings that is going to turn into investment. So I usually advise people, when you're going for savings, you go through some saving plans that has interest rate at the end of the given year or the given period of time you want to save. There are some savings you save, and at the end of the year, you don't have any interest attached to it. You just get your normal deposit money you fixed in, and you get it back out. They have some people do that, and those kind of people in Nigeria, they're called like local adjos and all these things. So then from your 300,000 naira, you have to map out your transportation. If you're transporting yourself to your work, if you're transporting yourself, maybe you have a car or anything, but you know 150,000 a salary earner is not yet entitled to have own a car at early stage, except you have extra sources of income. So most people fail to understand this thing, and they quickly go in a loan debt of a car. So most times it is okay when you want to go on a loan debt of car, but it is depending on the distance and your earning. So then we go to over to you know how to manage it. You map out your transportation for the month, and then your feeding. You could give your wife 100 and something thousand. You could give her 70 something thousand. Okay, my love. All right, stock the house with this. let's have a little miscellaneous to attach to. Because of the foodstuffs we have, we could be able to buy some little groceries if you want to attach to make a decent meal. So you've mapped out 70 something thousand, which you're left with 230,000. Let's say, for instance, now your transportation can cost you 40,000 naira. Now, 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 let's say, for instance, your transportation can cost you 40,000 naira. 40,000 naira of your transportation, which is costing you 40,000 naira. 40,000 naira of your transportation, hey things. You're welcome to our live broadcast. Oh shit. So let's say 40,000 naira for your transportation. Oh my god. I want to put this phone on a DND. Alright, that is good. So 40,000 naira for your transportation. Hey David, you're welcome to my live broadcast. So 40,000 naira for your transportation, then you are left with 190,000 naira. So that 190,000, let's map it out that okay, your children's school fees should not be higher than your earning, because a lot of people make that mistake to put their children, because you want to give your children the best school life. Let me tell you, giving your child the best school life doesn't guarantee you to put them in an expensive school and debt yourself, put yourself in debt. You need to cautious of certain things. Teach your children wisely. There are lesser schools you could pay, you could afford. You could go to a school of 100,000 naira, 90 something thousand naira, their tuition fee and everything. Not for you to go enroll your kids for in the school of what, like 100 and something, 200 and something thousand naira, above matching figure with your earnings. So this is something we're trying to explain to you now. So back to what we are talking about. Developing financial discipline is crucial. It requires a commitment to evaluating your spending habits, and making adjustments where necessary. This discipline allows you to resist societal pressures that encourages overspending and consumption. So let's go to the streaming platform, which is live here. So do you get to know that there are certain supporters on the streaming platform who are living a fake life, and they are in constant debt because of they're trying to match up with their lifestyle on the streaming app. Meanwhile, why the sense that you are trying to match up somebody who is a big supporter on the app, because within you, you don't know where this person is getting his income, how this person is making his money, and then you are trying to live up to this person's lifestyle, and therefore you are making yourself go in debt every month that you cannot even pay off back in more than 6 or 7 months to come. Why? Because you can do the little way you can afford, not overspending above your ends, because you want to prove a point on, you want to prove a point to somebody, you want to show the whole world. Because in the whole wide world is going to be seeing you that you're a big person. You don't have any financial insecurity, you're not thinking about some of your finances, you're okay, you're comfortable. But in the outside the space of people seeing you, in your own self, you die with hunger, you're not even living in a comfortable apartment, you just go to an apartment where you just rent a certain space. These are the examples I'm using. I'm going to be using as a supporter and also as a streaming host too. How do you save up? Are you saving up yourself? Are you saving up, or you're trying to live to the expectations to people matching your physical appearance with what you have, and they end up investing on your physical appearance and having zero savings? That is something everyone need to talk about, and this is something we need to look into too, so as to see, because what you save now is something that is going to help you in the nearest future, because you cannot escape it. When when crisis hit on you, then you will know that yes, there is an importance there's importance for you to save at an early stage, because when you start saving, from an early stage of your life, an early age of your life. Maybe if, let me tell you, if you start saving from the age of 35, let me tell you that savings before you get to 60 something years, you have accumulated some wealth, or no wealth that you can never even imagine. This is something and a trickish way of most people, and most people you see that have gone into retirement, and you still seeing them and you see their net worth. This is something they have sacrificed from the beginning of their early stage of life, when they understand financial management. You see, finances is something that can be so trickish. Finances is something that can blow up in the air, and also is something that can diminish quickly between the twinkle of the eye if you're not properly careful about it. So let's go to, when you live below your means, you free up more money to save and invest. This increase in saving this increase in saving can compound over time, leading to a greater wealth accumulation. Just like we just said last, living with your means can significantly lower financial stress. When you don't stretch your budget to keep up with others, you reduce the anxiety that comes from financial insecurity. By avoiding lifestyle inflation and unnecessary expenses, you gain the freedom to make choices that align with your values. Whether it is traveling, pursuing a passion, or retiring early, living below your means provide the flexibility to do what truly matters to you. So, as a woman, you need to be consciously financially, you need to have this knowledge of finances, even as well as to help your partner grow, as well as to see your partner succeed and triumph over his own finances, because most time men could spend, men doesn't even have this financial management within them. So it's more common to women, because we have to navigate our way to plan what are we going to eat, how to navigate. It is inborn a woman to plan, to save. But there are some women that don't even know how to save. They spend extravagantly. So there are some men that's even in that category. So if your partner is in this category, how do you help the person? You have to gradually come to this person, and you have to first of all make a step like giving the person a booklet and say, okay, I want you to list down your expenses, your budget for the next month. List down the things you want to do for the next month. Map it out, put the figures, to put the figures, put the monetary figures attached to it, and let some total it. And then when you sum total it, you will see this person is going to be spending more than their income in a month. And then you ask the person, okay, these things you mentioned, what is your income? Is your income 400 and something $1,000, or let's say your income is 3,500 dollars, and your expenses is above your income, which is $4,500, and then you see that person panicking, the person will start having this financial stress in him, that how am I going to achieve all these things when I don't have this money? And thereby you see women pursuing some men because of they want to live up to the standard, and they want to live up to what they want to achieve. Sometimes if you see that something is way above your budget, way above your earnings, you need to cut down some certain things. It is not as if you're not going to achieve that thing, but you need to cut down and plan ahead, that if I cannot achieve this particular thing this month, okay, why not I move it to the next month? Why not I cut this? Why not I cut this one? Maybe I'm using a perfume worth, or my cologne is worth 40 something thousand naira. Okay, because of what I need to achieve, I can't be using a cologne for 45,000 naira. Cologne is a perfume. Okay, let me cut it down. Let me use the one of 15,000 naira. Rather, it gives you have a nice smell. When you come out, people know you're using a nice perfume, but not to the standard of which you wanted. Your extra quality. You need to now cut it down and know that, okay, let me go for this. That is you living below your earning, and for saving for the next future, for saving for the better tomorrow, for saving, for sacrificing to achieve something next in the next 3 to 6 months, 1 year, or even probably 10 years coming. Because they have some people now, as a family person, you are earning a salary, your wife is earning, you two need to go on an investment plan for your children. How do you start up an investment plan for your children? You need to start up now. Hello, Nikki. Thank you for joining. You need to start up now because you cannot achieve you making a decision to start it up now. So let's continue. So there are strategies for living below your means. So I'm going to be mentioning 4 strategies of living below your means and how it could help you out. One, create a budget. Just like we said the first time, you need to create a budget. Create a budget. Developing a realistic budget is the first step in living below your means. Track your income and expenses to identify areas where you can cut back. Use budgeting apps or tools to make this process easier. When you talk about budgeting apps or tools, this is something like you could get a pen, you could get a book, you could use your phone, because I was taught this way of having a budgeting book. I have a book, a small booklet, which if I show you, I have budget of what I have spent all through 2023, 2024, 2025, and now we're in 2026. Sometimes when I go through those budgets, when I go through my expenses book, when I go through my savings book, because it's, I also call it my savings book because it's an expenses and my savings. I looked at it, I was like, wow, I really, and sometimes it's fun, it's actually fun when you try to calculate everything you spend for a whole year and you see yourself. You will be proud of yourself because you are making some money which you don't realize. You don't realize, and that will bring to your notice like how God has been coming through for you for an unforeseen cases that you have been sorting out. Me, I'm using myself an example. If I have an extra unforeseen budget to do, I pen it down. If I am lending any of my friends money or anything, I write it down. This month I lend my friends this particular amount of money, which was paid back or it was not paid back. Understand me? This month there was an unforeseen thing that came up. I add it to my budget. I write it down. So next month is going to help me to see, okay, is it necessary for me to cut down some certain things? Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. Please do it to like, and also do it to share the live on your video. Click on the like button and click on the subscribe button. We are aiming to have hundreds subscribers before the month of April. At least let's achieve that before the month of April. So those on the live me, and please share the live, drop some star points for me, and also continue watching. And let's continue. Thank you so much for that. So we've talked about the first one, which is creating a budget, and the second one is prioritizing your needs over wants. You know, the difference between your needs and the difference between your wants. If you don't understand your needs from your wants, you cannot differentiate your needs and your wants. Okay, how do you know about your needs? Your needs as your personal amenities, your groceries are want is something I want to have a hair, but it's not a priority. Is it not a priority? Oh, I want to have a shoe. I need to change a shoe. I need to do this. I need these things for myself. But it is not a need. That is your want, which is playing on you that okay, I want this thing. But a need is a necessity, a necessary thing that you must have. You know, when you're talking about this, your need is even your subscription on your online subscription is your need, and it's necessary for you to do that. It is necessary for you to attain that. You cannot skip it. Your grocery still is your need. You understand? So with all these things, you need to be able to differentiate your prioritize your needs over your want. So let me explain more further about it. Distinguish between essential needs and discretional wants. This is what discretional ones are the ones that you just a desirable thing for you to have within yourself. Maybe I desire to have a Bluetooth, I desire to do this. But if you check your wants and you see that it is something that is going to add something, a value to your life, it is something like it is important for you to have it, then you could go on it, then you could prioritize on it. But if not something that is very important and necessary for you to have, you understand, then you could just cut it out a little. Thank you so much, to Sunday. So focus your spending on necessities and limit spending on non-essential items. This shift in mindset can help you make more thoughtful financial decisions. Please do well to hit on the like button, Sunday, share the live, and also just click on the like, tap on the screen, and you like automatically. For those on live me, please do well to share the live for me, drop some star point, let's hit the flame up, and let's keep it going. And I know it well that I still have my goal yet to achieve. And if you please, and you could help me grant one of my wish list and everything. So then the third one is setting a saving goal. So now this saving goals is very, very important because most of us over save. You know, I said most of us oversave and ended up making us struggle to meet up with the other ones and our other needs. Like for instance, you a salary earner of 100,000 naira. It is not really necessary for you to go save 50,000 naira, and you know that 50,000 naira in the economic right now, if you cut out your transportation, cut out your social media subscription, cut out your groceries, and then you will be left with nothing. Understand? You'll be left with nothing. Then an unforeseen issues will come up. That will what will lead you to go back to your savings. This is something mistake most of us are always doing. It will make you go back to a savings which you have decided not to touch, and then going back to that savings, and you end up spending from that savings which is supposed to save you for the nearest future. So this is something we need to triple I DJ. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you for coming. So this I repeat again myself. See, it is necessary for you not to oversave. Oversaving in the aspect of you are a salary earner of, let's say you're a salary earner of $500, and then you now want to save because you want to save, and then you go save $200 when you know $300 cannot and might not pull you through the whole month, but you cut out your bills, cut out your transport, cut out your amenities, your groceries, cut out the necessary things, and you'll be left with nothing. And then when an unforeseen circumstances will come up in between before the month end, because we have 30 days in a month, and then when you have an unforeseen budget, a non-planned, most people call it unplanned budget that will come up, which every month you need to map your budget and keep a little money for an unplanned budget, which yes, it always occurs. Some months it might not come up. You understand me? Thank you so much, DJ. And then when you pass through that and you did not save for that unforeseen, and then you end up at the end of the month, before the end of the month, middle of the month, you see that unforeseen budget comes up. It will make you to go back to the savings which you have saved within yourself. I'm not going to touch it. I'm not going to do anything with it. I'm just going to save it for 6 months, 1 year. Let me see what I can achieve. It will make you go back to that savings. And then the moment you go back to that savings, it is reachable. That's your plan. That your budget has been cut off. That your plan and that your budget has been cut off. Thank you, Sunday, for that. Has been cut off. And then you have touched and you are tampered. But the necessary way for you to save, you have 100,000, your 500,000, $500 earning, or let's say your $100,000 in. Please do not overdo yourself. You don't need to overdo yourself. You could save 20,000 naira out of it. You could save 30,000 naira out of it. Do you know that you are better off than somebody that saved just 10,000 naira or 20,000 naira? You are better off than someone that saved 100,000 naira and later went back to that savings which he or she has saved and touched with it and money. And at the end of the day, the person ended up save it using almost all the money he or she has saved for that particular move and map out a budget of that particular. If you look at this kind of people, these people are having crisis in financial savings. These people are having crisis in their decision making. These are people that always have crisis in decision, financial decisions. You understand it? So this is something like so along the line, every Thursday I'm going to be teaching. I'm going to next week Thursday we're going to be talking about how a business person can save, what when to save, when not to touch your saving, when to use loan to back up your business, when to expand and when not to expand. We're going to be treating on all these steps gradually every Thursdays. But you know our streaming and our live broadcast is always on a different perspective. So we are talking about setting your savings goal. Establish saving goals, whether for an emergency fund, retirement, or a future purchase. By having clear goals, you are more motivated to stick to your budget and live within your means. This is what it's saying. You need to live within your means, even when that unforeseen circumstances will come up and you did not save for that, you did not budget any money for it. Be a person that can stand by your decision, not going to tamper your extra savings, which you have budgeted and you've mapped out that will solve a solution to your nearest in the nearest future, in the next 1 year and the next 6 months. Thank you so much, Sunday, on the YouTube channel for that. And we hope we're going to see you every time. Again, share the live to your broadcast, share the live to your WhatsApp, share the live to any of your friends over there that needs to hear this. So we've talked about the third aspect of setting goals. And then the fourth one is adopt a minimalist mindset. When you talk about a minimalist, adopt the lifestyle of minimizing everything you need to do. You don't need to prove point to anybody. I say repeat myself, you don't need to prove anything to anybody in this world. Minimalist, most people will say, I am this kind of person, I save, yes, but I love family. See, family can cut your savings, and when it needs for you to take care of some necessary things, are you sure that family can stand and help you overcome those storms? That is one thing you need to check. You cannot overdo yourself. Do you know the most greater stress in life is not a stress of failed relationship? It's not a stress of, do you know the stress of financial instability? You need something to invest in your future. You need this money that is going to bring and use something extra, that is going to expand your life, is going to take your life to the next level, and you don't have it. You know the stress of thinking about it. That is another stress. It's not just stress of not more knowing the decision to make, or the stress of, people say when you have money you don't think more, you relax and everything. Do you know how fun and how sweet it is that at your retirement stage you have something to boast of when you sit down and you relax? And when you're doing this, encourage your children, bring them up in that same way you are training yourself. Teach them that yes, family is important, but you cannot die for family. You cannot spend and you don't have saving because you are trying to satisfy family. You're going to be down. When you want to help family, do not overdo yourself. Do the ones you could do, because let me tell you the truth. The blunt truth is, when you pass away from this earth, have you asked yourself those things that you feel that it is only you that is capable of doing in your family, nobody can do it? Do you think that when you leave this planet earth, those things will not be solved? It will be solved. But at the same time, do not overdo and make your family solemnly dependable on you. You're not helping them. To you, you feel like you want to, that is the reason why you're working. No, you're not helping your family. You need to teach them to live without you. You need to teach them to be able to stand and survive even when you don't have. So it is not every time they call on you, oh girl, I need this so amount of money. You are teaching your sister or your brother or your family in a wrong way. And then that thing is going to be so bonding on your shoulders. And you see that expenses. Hi, hello, Nate. Welcome to the love broadcast. And you see that expenses will be too much. There'll be so much bonding on your shoulders that you cannot even expect. Sometimes you will sit down and be like, God, why can't one person from the family also assist? Because you have solemnly built to be so dependent on you, not because you have it. Some of you don't even have everything. You don't have it, but you just want your family to be happy. Yes, it is okay for you to want your family to be happy. It is not in the detriment of your peace, and not in the detriment of your career, not in the detriment of your future, not in the detriment of the future of your family, your own personal family, not in the detriment of the future of your children. If you are a young bachelor, you're not married yet, and you're having this family responsibility so much on you, your younger sister will call you, hey bro, I need this thing. You're fitting the bills. Your sister who is married that has a husband is calling you, hey bro, hey sis, I need this thing. You answer. Even when they're out of marriage. I don't know, to some cases, I've seen some cases of, I know when I was doing my anonymous link on YouTube channel, on my Instagram, which I actually had to cut off that Instagram anonymous link because it was leading to some certain things, and it was leading to things that I really don't want to. But the major aim of it was actually achieved, which I glory be to God in the highest. So I have somebody that said, my sister is divorced, but I'm the one training her, her children, and herself. Please, what is your sister doing? Is she not working? Because you have actually spoiled and over pampered your sister or your brother to make them believe that whenever they are in financial crisis, they can run to you at any time, instead of them to learn to survive on their own. They can survive on their own without you. And then when you don't reach up to their expectation, you end up seeing them that your family is having this over entitlement to your income. They are having this over entitlement to your income. Whatever you earn, they are entitled for it. And then you hear these cases of, boy, you have money, why can't you help me? Why can't you solve your own solution to yourself? You're not a kid. You need to train them. You need to even make them your actions. You may not be to beat them, but your actions can push them to want to know how to do this thing, how to solve, and how to be a solution to themselves. You know, most of these things are what is causing nuisance in the streets. And then when you see a nuisance person that is wayward, and then you come to the person, and the person will be like, hey, I know your brother is so well, you leave my brother, he doesn't want to help me out. Are you okay? Can't you help yourself? Can't you walk? Can't you earn? And then when you earn, live below your earning. Do not live above your earning or carry a broad shoulder. As a girl, you are earning 200 and something thousand naira, and before the end of the month, you have spent more than 200 and something thousand naira, and then you have a wig worth 500 and something thousand naira on your head. See, let me tell you, there are specific level at which you will get to when you are purchasing some quality stuff. You know that yes, it is not going to shake your balance. It's not going to shake your income. It's not going to shake your expenses. It's not going to shake your savings. When you get to that stage, then you will see the necessary, that you will see that okay, you need to cut some things off. You're earning low. We all know that yes, you have the vision, you have this thing in you, that you want to wear quality stuff, you want to be seen, you want somebody to see you and be like, damn, this guy is beautiful, this guy is wearing this, but inside you're dying. And inside you can't boast of any service. Inside you, you are always begging people money. At the end of the day, the money you're even begging people, what value are you using that money to? Are you using it for an unforeseen? Are you using it for an unnecessary budget? Unnecessary things. Unnecessary things. I've seen a girl that is not working, and yes, you're using an expensive phone. Yes. But if I'm a man, before I give expensive phone, I need to know what you're doing. I need to know how you're going to earn more from that expensive phone I'm giving to you. You need to cut things, you need to cut some snacks, you need to cut some things. Even as a man, also here, live me. There are some certain things that you need to do. You don't need to live a life to please anybody. You don't need to live a life to show that, oh, this person is a dogu, this person has it, this person is. That is what is bringing this over entitlement on the streaming platform. Please, I need the money. Oh, if you want to spend, I need the gift. I'm even still far from my goal on the streaming platform. I'm still far from my goal. I still have about 17K to go. Please, if you want to help me, because it's going to be useful to me, the money is going to be useful to me, and I'm going to use it for, because I know what I want to do with it. But if I don't achieve this, my goal for the month, doesn't mean I'm going to work myself up. I will leave it and be like, okay, the next month, let's see how it goes. Let's try to see if we're going to achieve what we couldn't achieve for last month, if we're going to be achieving them for this month, for the next month. So that is for saving, setting saving goals. So let's go to the last one is adopt a minimalist mindset, which we just talked about. Embrace minimalism by decluttering your life and prioritizing experiences over possessions. This shift can lead to greater fulfillment and less temptation to overspend. The Smith family has always dreamed of a comfortable life. This is an example. But their financial struggles during an economic downturn forced them to re-evaluate their priorities. After both parents lost their job, the harsh reality of their situation hit home. They realized that their previous spending habits were unsustainable. They cannot live to that standard. And immediate changes were necessary, determined to regain control of their finances. Thank you so much, Nate. Determined to regain control of their finances, the Smiths sat down together and create a strict budget. They focus on essential expenses, housing, food, and transportation, eliminating unnecessary costs wherever they could. Dining out became a rare treat. Oh, thank you so much. Dining out became a rare treat instead of a regular occurrences, as subscription service were cancelled. You see this? Luxury items were off the table. This is something of being in a minimalist mindset. When you find out, when crisis hits you, thank you so much, Nate. I really appreciate your support. Thank you so much. When crisis hits you, you need to come back and check. And the second thing you need to see, if you are the type that always help family, how can your family survive when crisis hits you? If it's your children, do not over pamper your children. Teach them the way of life. Teach them that money comes and go. They need to have this financial wisdom in them. Teach your children, teach your wife too. Let her not be an extravagant person. Teach your husband to let him not be an extravagant person. It is not bad for you to cut your extravagant life, because when you be in this situation, can your family survive? Because most times it's always difficult to come out when you are wealthy. It is easy when you are wealthy and then that wealthy was once wealthy. There's difference when you're wealthy normal and then when you're once wealthy. That word, I was once wealthy. And that once wealthy, you check yourself, have you survived? Have your family adjust to that once wealthy lifestyle? So this is a story I'm trying to cut out for everyone. Yeah. So let's continue. Luxury items were off the table. Instead of viewing these sacrifices as losses, they saw them as opportunity to redirect their money into savings. If a family, assuming this family have been saving and they've come out from this their lucrative lifestyle, do you know that when crisis hits you, because the market level, market statistics is not always accurate at every given day. The statistics might be high today, tomorrow it will depreciate. And the depreciation can take like 1 month before it have an increase again. So when it gets to this depreciating level of the market value, how do you survive through that storm? Because when you enter that depreciating stock market, when you enter that depreciating level, so many people has gone encounter losses in their stock. When you encounter such losses now, how do you manage through before it gets to the increase or the stock value becoming high again? So you still understand what we're trying to say. So they saw them as opportunity to redirect their money into saving, which felt empowering. Embracing a frugal lifestyle, the Smith found creative ways to stretch their dollar further. They discovered the joy of shopping at discount store. Are you this type of person? Oh, I don't buy discount sales. I don't want to buy discount sales. When the sales is on promo, no, I want it when it's a normal standard. My dear brothers and sisters, if you are working and you are working your ass for your hard earned money, I believe that if your money is coming hard in your efforts, your dying in effort of you working your ass for hours, see, you will not spend extravagantly. You will not. Instead of you spending extravagantly, you are even living a life to bless, to be a solution to others. That is where many people make mistakes too. You're working your ass, hours, stressing, working for hours, and then at the end of the month, you cut your expenses. And most times you might not even end up spending, hi diva, you might not even end up spending all this money on yourself. Then you see yourself spending for your family, for your friends, or anything, helping out, being a solution. But please do not overdo it. Do not overdo yourself. It is not all calls. It is not all calls to solve be a solution to a financial crisis you attend to, you accept. It is not all calls. Even if you have it more, it is not all calls you say yes to. There are some calls you don't say yes to. It is not like you're wicked. You're not wicked. It is not like you're selfish. No, because you can be selfish for your future, my dear. You need to be selfish about your future. Even if you're not going to live the entire life of fulfillment of your lifespan on earth. But your family is not something that you need to your future, the future of your kids, the future of your children, the future of your wife also is not something you could joke with or play around with. Because at what age do you think you will start saving? If you can't start saving now, before you get to your 60 something years old or your 50 years old, and you've not accumulated some wealth of savings, at what age would you start saving for yourself? So let's continue before we are wrapping it up and saying, calling it a day on the broadcast. So let's go together. So they discover the joy of shopping at discount sales, meal planning to avoid food waste, and participating in free community events. Family outings were now centered around local parks and community festivals, which not only saved money but also brought them closer. As the months passed, their disciplined approach began to pay off. The Smiths built an emergency fund that provided them with a safety net, while their efforts to cut expenses allowed them to pay down debt more quickly than they had imagined. This newfound financial stability brought peace of mind, allowing them to sleep better at night, knowing they were taking charge of their future. The freedom that came with living below their means opened doors to opportunities they had once thought out of reach. With a solid foundation and a clear understanding of their financial goal, the Smith family was no longer burdened by anxiety about money. They had transformed their financial situation through determination and teamwork, setting themselves apart to a long time. Their journey serves as a powerful reminder that with careful planning and a commitment to living within one means, anyone can overcome adversities and build a brighter future together. So we come to the end of the podcast show today, which we've talked about. What we discussed so far is living below your means. And for next month, for Thursday, we're gonna be talking about do not confuse luck from skills. A lot of people have been confusing luck for skills. So stay tuned. Next week Thursday podcast, we'll be gonna be talking about confusing luck for skills because they are two different things. And for today, I hope each and every one of us have learned some certain things on how to minimize our expenses, how to cut out some things, how to budget. Like we mentioned, the four strategic ways of budget, the four strategic ways of living below your means, which you mentioned: creating your budget, prioritizing your needs over wants, set a saving goals, and adopt a minimalist mindset. So far. And shout out to each and every one of you from the YouTube live on YouTube. Shout out to each and every one of you that stopped by, the likes, the comment, the share. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Your participation also and your encouragement is absolutely seen and appreciated. And shout out to each and every one of you from Live Me Streaming app, which my Live Me Streaming app for those on YouTube channel is one my live streaming app is 1023 75 965. If you want to search me on the YouTube the streaming platform, which is Live Me Streaming app. For if you want to see me, my other content of which I usually drop on YouTube channels, you could click on D_Blunt Reality on your search button on your YouTube, and do not forget to hit the subscribe button. Let's help to team up with me so we could get 100 subscribers before the end of next month, which is March. And I believe in each and every one of you, we can do it. We can do it together, and we could bring some changes. We could talk about the realities of things and the truth, just like the name Blunt Reality. Hit the truth to the name, even if it doesn't sound pleasing, because I know after doing this particular conversation, this particular podcast, a lot of supporters on the app we want to come and restrict their spending and everything. Yes, see, a lot of people are going to hit on me. Why do you talk about this? Why are you trying to caution somebody's spending? Do not caution them. Yes, the ones that are not going to appreciate your advice, leave them to go. Do not stress yourself trying to prove a point to them. Let them. If they want to spend their money, just leave them, allow them, because once lesson, twice learn. You will learn the lesson. And the person is going to learn the lesson in a hard way. If the person accept the person that is early eating from his or her miscellaneous, because all fingers are not equal, all earnings are not the same, all incomes can never be the same. Some earn higher, and if you see them spending, do not look up like, oh, I want to spend like this person. If you want to spend like this person, you need to invest, you need to work yourself, you need to strategize, you need to build yourself to get to that level. It is not when you've not built yourself to that level and you're spending to match fingers, to match shoulders with that person. Who are you trying to impress? The girls on this app is going to squander your money. They're going to eat it and they will keep begging you for more and you keep spending more. So be cautious while you spend, and do not put yourself in debt because you want to live up to a standard. Avoid putting yourself in debt before the following month. There are people that before the next month they're already in debt. Why? Before the next month you're already in debt. Before the month runs out you're already owing, you're already in loan, except the loan of you improving your business, or you want to take your business to the next level. That is acceptable. But as a man and a woman, cut your earning, live below your earnings, do not live above your earning, because in this world we are, nobody is going to sit up and clap for you when you're down, except for your friends, which you know are your real friends, or your family, which you have trained. They can be able to help pick you up, or your wife or children, any of them can be with you, can be with you in when you're in that crisis, when you're in that situation, when you find yourself in that situation. So please, guys, curtail your spending, curtail your expenses, live a fulfilled life, live a life with not so much stress. Do not overstress yourself. If you cannot achieve this particular thing, do not overwork yourself. Work towards it. Achieving something can take you years to achieve it, but it is better when you see that thing, when you achieve that particular thing, you look at yourself and you be proud of yourself, because one, you pushed yourself to achieve that, and not just achieving that, you achieved it on your own without no extra financial support. That is another thing. So I love each and every one of you. I still remain your humble girl, Daniela. On Live Me, I'm Daniela. On YouTube, I am The Blunt Reality. I still love you. See you again on Sunday. On Sunday, which we're going to be talking about the necessary ways not to use while in a relationship or with your spouse. You know, there's some certain ways you're not meant to say. There's certain things you think that this is common, but it is not suitable. It is not good for you, because it always creates crisis. It always creates misunderstanding between partners, because the way you understand it is not the way the woman is going to understand it. The way the man understands it is not the way the woman is going to understand it too. So on Sunday. See you again 9 p.m. every Thursdays and Sunday. I catch you all again. I love each and every one of you. Stay blessed, stay happy. Remember, do not spend, because this month is coming to an end. Even if you've made that mistake this month, do not panic. Even if you've not saved from January to February, do not panic. See, most times there are some expenses you do that will not you might not end up saving for that particular month, but let it be a necessity, not unnecessary things. Let it be a need that must be taken care of. You understand me? So do not panic. Next month we're going to be starting up next month. And if you want to advance in this, please do well too. Get a budget book, or get a budget app, which will help you curtail with your expenses. You're not expected to be perfect from the beginning. It's a gradual process. I'm not expecting you to be perfect now. It is going to be a gradual process, which you're going to be taking one step at the other. So I love each and every one of you. Stay tuned, stay blessed, stay happy, stay good. Bye, everyone. Thank you so much.